Good afternoon. It's Monday, January 26, 2026. INEC's continuous voter registration is on. Use the opportunity to register to vote. On the news this afternoon, Rivers monarch hospitalized, responding to treatment after being shot. Rivers APC to hold primaries ahead of by-elections. Federal lawmaker fires back at presidential aide over Rivers political crisis remarks. Ex-House Speaker praises President Tinubu's reforms. President Trump says administration reviewing Minneapolis fatal shooting. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now let's start the news this hour by telling you about the shooting of an Ogoni traditional ruler, the Benemene Banga in Kana local government area, King Suanu T.Y. Baridam. Now, we hear he was reportedly shot by gunmen in the early hours of Sunday between Taba Junction and the Sogo area while returning from an engagement in Okwale community, Kana local government area. Sources say the king is responding to treatment at an undisclosed hospital. We are yet to get a reaction from the River State Police Command on this matter. Meanwhile, the Apex Ogoni Socio-Cultural Organization, Kagote, has condemned the assassination attempt on the Benemene of the ancient Banga Kingdom, King Suanu Timothy Yormadan Baridam. Now, in a statement, Kagote President Chief Lesi Mao describes the attack as an assault on the Ogoni traditional institution, peace and unity, warning that such violence is unacceptable and aimed at destabilizing Ogoni land. Now, he says the group will not allow criminal elements to drag Ogoni land back into an era of violence, bloodshed, and destruction. Chief Mao is calling on the Nigeria Police Force and other security agencies to carry out a thorough investigation and ensure that all those involved, including sponsors and collaborators, are brought to justice. He also says the Ogoni Socio-Cultural Group will fully cooperate with security agencies and has announced a reward for credible information leading to the arrest and prosecution of the attackers. Also, the Gagote president warned community leaders and stakeholders against shielding criminals, insisting that anyone found protecting those involved will face the full weight of the law. Well, away from that to politics, the APC in River State is set to conduct its primary election today to select candidates for the 4 state assembly by-elections in Kana and Ahoda East local government areas. Delegates for the primaries were chosen on Sunday during party congresses monitored by INEC and security agencies. The by-elections followed the death of the lawmaker representing Kana State Constituency 2, Dena Badiloro, and the resignation of the member for Ahoda East State Constituency 2. And with the countdown to the February 51st assembly by-election underway, the APC in River State has conducted ward congress to the February 51st assembly by-election underway. The APC in River State has conducted ward congresses in Ahoda East and Kana local government areas, delegates for the party's primaries. The congresses will help to select delegates who will vote for the party's candidates in the upcoming by-elections for Ahoda East State Constituency 2, Kana State Constituency 2. In Ahoda East State Constituency 2, the exercise was monitored by a 7-man party congress committee led by Party Hanazo, alongside members of the party's appeal committee. Now, the committee moved the 6 wards in the constituency to observe the process and ensure compliance with party guidelines. Party members participated in an orderly manner through a voice vote. At the end of the exercise, 5 delegates were elected from each ward. The exercise took place in Kana local government area, where party officials advised election of delegates in line with APC constitution and guidelines. The party delegate congress and primary election committee is headed by Oya Peter.
Despite the fact that the various wards were far from each other and getting there took us time, they waited the parties to party the process in them, and they were happy that we now have a leader in person of the state governor in the party. I think that is one of what is giving them joy. I'm very confident that our performance in the election will be very good.
5 delegates were also elected from each ward. Now, observers from the Independent National Electoral Commission led by the electoral officer in charge of operations for the local government area, Obule Emilia, were present. Security agencies in the Department of State Services and Nigeria Police Force were also on this and maintain order. The elected delegates from both constituencies will now vote in the APC primaries to determine the party candidates for the February 51st House of Assembly by-elections in the East State Constituency 2 and Kana State Constituency 2. But at the end of the exercise, party officials expressed satisfaction with the peaceful conduct of the congresses, describing it as a crucial step forward toward the APC's participation in forthcoming elections. This is what the chairman of the Congress Committee, Sheikhu Dange, had to say.
Our people complete and election observe the returning officers work the local and the electoral officer and them they necessary equipment and follow a diligent process to bring out the candidates for the delegates Congress. This process concluded. We thank the APC members, most national states for conducting the Congress diligently and appreciate the security services, the INEC observers, and the press for excellent coverage.
Dange also thanked Governor Simalai for his support in ensuring a peaceful process, the same position as the leader of the party in the state has brought unity to the DC.
As we move into the River State constituencies where we are working, we have seen the reaction of the people. We are happy with the new development. We have got a new leader of APC in the state, and leadership has furthered the APC. See, APC is getting to be very strong. Now the leadership is there, so people are united. They have a focus. They have a leader. And with that, the fortune of the party will be very close in the next election.
But still talking politics, the River State chairman of the African Democratic Congress, Lee Samson, says the ADC's focus on building a people-centered political party and is not distracted by the political instability in the state. Speaking to Nigerian firms Morning Crossfire, Samson says the party will not practice the conventional style of politics many Nigerians are used to, but engaging in wide consultations and grassroots interactions. He adds that the ADC is adopting a different approach aimed at driving real political transformation.
We are interacting and interfacing with the people at the grassroots. What we see the conventional politics of Nigeria is people will come and do what they want to do, whereas they've not started interfacing and interacting with the people concerned. And ABC have decided to take another approach, which is interact with the people of the people. Build a template based on this. I don't want to mention our strengths. We are working seriously. A lot of people want us to keep talking, making noise, which is the conventional way of doing things, but we are coming with a different approach.
Well, it also argues that the governor has failed to deliver on the mandate given to him by the people, describing the ongoing crisis in the governor, the FCT minister, and members of the state assembly as a distraction game designed to divert attention from governance.
The political instability in Rivers State is a minister and the governor of Rivers State and the Rivers State House of Assembly is a distraction so that Rivers people will not ask relevant questions. What I think is that the governor has not done enough with the resources at his disposal, and that game is distracting Rivers people so that tomorrow the governor will have an excuse to say that these are the reasons why I couldn't carry out this project or whatever he has aligned to do.
Well, moving on now, a member of the House of Representatives, Solomon Bob, has criticized President Bola Tinubu's advisor on policy communication, Daniel Wala, for the comment he made about the FCT. Bob reacting to Wala's claim that media had been adequately compensated in the current administration and that he was making it difficult for River State Governor Order Simalai to govern effectively. The lawmaker dismissed the comments, describing Bola as someone seeking attention and misrepresenting the facts. He described the remarks as disrespectful, unnecessary, and deliberately intended to stir trouble. Bob also argued that the presidential aide downplayed the FCT minister's widely acknowledged performance by attributing it merely to the removal of the FCT Treasury single account. He further accused Bola of poor judgment for suggesting that media is interfering in the Forest administration. Also reacting to the statement by President aide Daniel Wala, that Governor Simalai is the leader of APC in the state. The PDP chieftain Alex Muonyili says the argument is not about the APC leadership, but about who is president Tinubu's political structure in River State. Speaking with our correspondent, Muonyili insists that the FCT minister remains the leader of the president's political structure in the state and not Governor Simalai.
River State is running coalition leader of that coalition by Wiki. Different from you, who just became as a governor. So who be the political structure of Tinubu River State? So how can you come and say you are the leader? The leader of party is different from the political leader of the Tinubu political structure. So we're not dragging any political party leadership from anybody. No, I'm not is the River State coordinator for the new election structure.
On Wala's claim that the president has compensated the FCT minister, citing the removal of the FCT administration from the Treasury single account or the presidential aid of MB, the minister. While Governor Simalai says he is confident in the state's ability to overcome governance challenges. Fubara, represented by his deputy Professor Nkuzi Odo, spoke Sunday at the 2026 Holy Ghost rally organized by the Christian Church of God at the Adukia and Isiamaka Stadium in Port Harcourt. He says divine support will sustain the state's leadership institutions and communities, adding that the government draws strength from its faith in God.
It reminds us the world of uncertainty. God remains our okay source, in strength, in provision, and in grace. When our identity fails, God's sufficiency fails. As a people and as a state, we draw confidence from the knowledge that God is more than enough to guide our leaders, strengthen our institutions, and sustain our communities.
Coming up next, the former Speaker of Nigeria's House of Reps insisted that Nigeria is on the right path under President Tinubu. We'll tell you more about this after this break. States for a moment at issues. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, says Nigeria is the right path under President Bola Tinubu, even though many Nigerians get to feel the impact of the government's economic policies. Speaking on television's Sunday Politics, Dogara defended the president's performance, arguing that Tinubu inherited deep economic and and security challenges that cannot be fixed overnight. It says there is visible improvement in areas that were previously neglected, such as security, even as border reforms will take time to yield results. Bogara adds that while the economic reform Archer spokesperson manifest says the visit aims to strip off conveying materials suspected to be explosive devices during an intelligence-led attack. A statement by the police public relations officer Olainka says the interception followed credible intelligence during a stop and search operation, and the truck was secured and the suspected materials were taken into police custody for further investigation. Well, back here in River State, the chairman of the local government area, Chima Boniface Njoko, has suspended 2 media aid, Robinson Ulu, and media aid or any appointee who makes unguarded statements against any political leader of Ichi ethnic nationality will also be suspended indefinitely. It said he will not allow his aides to cause problems between leaders in Ichi.
Facebook writers are in the use of a local government. They know how to write well, they know how to precise well. I want to sign as a warning of my appointees who inform themselves access to the social media site of criticizing any political voting office or any man over in the local government will be removed into the defeat. The local government as a government to look into what they are doing instead of the result like the people causing harms within our leaders. I have suspect and go to work and they may follow the foreign notice.
Still in Ichi, the correspondent Njoko says the ban global oil and gas Nigeria limit until it meets all agreements reached with the various host commitments and the local government council. He warned that no equipment owned by the company should be seen in Ichi. The Ichi council boss said he is committed to ensuring that Ichi people do not suffer but see real development.
From Monday, no where should I see Salim Global operating until all the agreements reached between the various communities and the local government will be met. And I want to sign it as one that none of their bulldozer or equipment should I see in their land. Salim Global should be handled by me in my secretary local government. Henceforth, Salim Global is no way okay or to die.
Moving on to the local government area, where the chairman, Charles Wombulu, has presented an official vehicle to the vice chairman of the council, Mrs. Ethel. Presenting the vehicle at the council secretary, Ifechukwu, Wombulu says it will enhance the vice chairman's mobility and improve efficiency in council operations.
This is an official call for the Federal Council. This is not private thing for your official use to make your work easy. That is why we made this available to the vice chairman. Please note the government car. I present to you the document of this car and the key. You can test. Is your relation?
Responding, Mrs. Kineka thanked the chairman, saying the vehicle will help her better support the administration of the council.
I want to thank the chairman of the local government and all the local officers for giving me my official car for me to decide very well as chairman of the local government. I support my chairman because it's such an easy thing to run a local government. So with this, I know that I am charged to do my work effectively without any complaint. Thank you very much, chairman.
Now, we're bringing you news from around the world.
Well, US President Donald Trump says he's viewing all aspects of the fatal shooting of 37-year-old intensive care nurse Alex Pretty by immigration agents in Minneapolis. Trump, who spoke with the Wall Street Journal, also says federal agents will eventually be withdrawn from the city, though he gave no timeline. Now, the shooting has sparked protests in Minneapolis and US cities, with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz warning that the country is at an inflection point. Now, the incident, the second fatal shooting of a US citizen by federal agent in recent weeks, has deep tensions between state and federal authorities. And while the administration defends the officer involved, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says Pretty was shot for brandishing a gun, a claim local authorities dispute. The weapon was legally registered and had been removed from the shooting. That's the news that's out. Before we go, here are the headlines once again. We told you how the Rivers Monarch was shot on Sunday and that he is hospitalized responding to treatment. The heard that the Rivers ABC set to hold primaries ahead of by-elections. And we brought a report about the federal lawmaker Solomon Bob, who presidential aid Daniel Bala overcoming. The news was edited by Ufoma Ebamino. To reach the news teams, SMS on 1088 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu.